It's the Golden Voice.
The Golden Voice. Very exciting. Woo! Very exciting to have you guys here because ever since I watched this trailer, I was like, first off, not only is this Philadelphia, but Nick Nolte's in this thing.
Oh, yeah? It's Nicky Nolte, man.
You want to know what really happens to a guy like me when I die? Nothing!
You're a local filmmaker that is from, like, the grind here in Philadelphia.
Delco proud, man. Let's go.
Oh, Delco?
Hell yeah.
Where?
Havertown.
Where?
I mean, you
Well,
want
give
an
me the
address?
address.
How much further can he go with that answer?
Well, I mean, look, I grew up Havertown, single mom, you know, paid my way through school, went to Ursinus, went there for theater and dance, and played on the football team, and just opening up my horizons, which I'm sure you did too, Christian, to just different avenues so that when it is time to direct or create, now you have this eclectic arsenal to now connect with a Christian, connect with a Buster, connect with a Nick Nolte, and just have genuine conversations so that you get the most authentic performance. Now, filming itself, you have to just go put yourself out there, do a ton of gratis work, like for free all the time, and then hope
Is gratis a fancy word for free?
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
Buster, you're unreal.
I love Buster.
I just wanted to check because I didn't want you to go too far. All right. So
You just gotta do stuff for free, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
100%. So then you link up with somebody like who invests in the movie? Like how does that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I was doing commercials for 10 years at this point, and my first movie, The Nomad, starring Tika Sumpter and Tate Donovan, which is also an inner city Philly true story about a rugby team in North Philly when all the schools were closing.
Flex on him.
Yeah,
Come
let's
on.
go.
I can't flex. I don't get these
Talk your
terms
talk.
flex.
Talk your
Like,
talk.
you don't
This
get
your
gratis.
moment.
I don't get flex.
gratis either, but, yeah.
But like when I hear flex, I'm thinking Christian's really strong. like, are you trying to say like I should flex?
Like this is like talk your talk, bro.
Yeah.
So you hustle, you make these connections.
Make these connections. You get one under the belt, and then you get two, you get three, and then all of a sudden those CEOs or their COOs that were doing those commercials for are now your friends, and then their friends, and
it's a lot easier to make a call when you have established rapport. I think the reason why I ask you to tell this story is because there's so many people. You know, they say when you're climbing a mountain, you see a lot of dead bodies along the way, right? So when you're climbing this proverbial mountain, there's so many people that give up at certain. Hey, right?
Vocabulary, baby.
I looked it up earlier.
Look at us. We're dropping some words today, aren't we, boys?
But when you're climbing up this hill, there's so many summit points where you could go, all right, this isn't paying the bills or this isn't doing it. And, you know, I just need to go get a regular job. But if you're saying keep going.
yeah. Look, I'm sure, Christian, you have this with a lot of your PAs and your interns with your programs. I used to do the same thing with commercials. I'm like, are you willing to work for free, first and foremost? Are you willing to work overnights? Are you willing to go out to Rittenhouse Square right now and just interview 10 people and put something together? Because I did a lot of shorts back in my day that were just completely for free just to get my name out there.
Cool.
And at some point, those materialize, and you are just granted these opportunities that just come as a byproduct of this hard work. But let it not be twisted. Like, you do have to raise capital for these movies. And the only way that my investors were coming on board was if I had skin in the game, which means I have to give up my commercial business for 2 to 3 years completely. I'm not taking a salary for 2 to 3 years on the movie itself for writing, directing, producing.
Yeah.
And I'm putting up my entire life savings from those commercials to match my investors. So I'm fully in. So when people are like, hey, you know, make a movie with me, or I'm like, are you going to do the same thing?
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, it's not easy.
Yeah, regulators! Okay, so that leads us to the Golden Voice.
Right.
So this comes together. I want to ask you, you know, M. Night Shyamalan always said how Philadelphia is the perfect backdrop for a movie because it's his own character. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I know him well. I have a good story about how I met
Guess
him.
we could just
They're
call
like
him.
boys, man.
Yeah, I know him well. He's a tough basketball player. We play.
Is
hoops.
he?
Yeah, he has a game at his house every Sunday for a couple of his friends, and he runs for like 3 hours nonstop with all these like ex-Nova guys.
What?
And I have no business being there, but he and I guard each other, and everyone else is like D1 caliber. So it's fun, and he throws elbows like you wouldn't believe.
I'm completely shocked. M. Night Shyamalan, as great of a filmmaker as he is, I wouldn't peg him for
He's
a
a
good
great basketball. He's got a
player.
great basketball IQ. I think with the Sixers, like they usually invite him to talk every year.
Oh yeah,
internally.
he's very involved with the Philadelphia.
Wow.
Yeah. He's got a great basketball IQ.
Well, enough of him.
You know,
The
I'm just saying.
movie. So the Golden Voice, you start making it. You get out here to start making this film. Tell me a little bit about the story from start to finish here.
Right. So I've personally, just growing up with a single mom, I've always gravitated towards stories like Good Will Hunting, Finding Forrester, Moonlight, just male mentorship type projects that just have storylines of like feel good, inspirational, and indie dramas that I probably shouldn't even be in that genre because no one ever buys them. But I like those types of movies. I've always liked watching them. So,
and I guess a Good Will Hunting can inspire you too, right? Because that comes from almost like the Kevin Smith Jersey crowd where they were making their own flicks, writing their own checks to get their passion projects made, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so with this movie, it was no different. I wrote it really as like an ode to my dad who left when I was around 10. And it's the story of just a homeless veteran who's dealing with his own demons. He
Nick
befriends young street singer Duran Jones, who's a kid who's on Broadway on tour right now with Hamilton. So this is his theatrical debut.
Oh.
And they just remedy their dark times together through this unexpected friendship and their passion mutually for music. And just wrote it straight from the bones. And it's an ode to my dad. It's an ode to Philly. And really just, if you look, we shot it all in Rittenhouse Square because that's really like the core, the nucleus of our town. And it's like a melting pot of these musicians, and Christian plays a street singer a street performer in the film. And it's just like all this life just intertwining in this one by one Central Park.
And that's what happens in these square blocks in Philadelphia, right?
Right.
And what I love about Philadelphia, enter my boy Christian Crosby here. What I love about this whole project is people like you are in the game because, I see you at every other month, every other event, whether it's with the Sixers or whether you're on your own local artist grind or if we're doing something here at Q102, you're as much a part of Philadelphia. You've become synonymous with Philadelphia, right?
You're gonna make me cry.
Hey, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm juicing you up here.
I cry watching him sometimes. I love watching Christian shine, man.
No, it is. It's great.
Dude was in like Abu Dhabi yesterday at a golf event on like broadcast. I'm like, this guy is incredible. And he's here today.
It's coming from a guy who just produced a movie.
Yeah, so we're here for each other, man.
No,
Awesome.
my favorite thing about this film, right? It's so Philly, but it's not overkill of Philadelphia. It's not cheesy.
It's not all whiz wit.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. It's not forced. It feels so Philadelphia. If you've ever visited Philadelphia or if you're from Philly, you're gonna watch this movie and you're gonna say, "Wow, this was so on point."
Yeah.
And then when you watch the film too, you are instantly invested. Like the way he tells this story and the way these two characters connect, you're like. You're glued to the screen, and I love how real it feels. It like you forget when you're watching it, like these are two actors, right? Like you're just watching it, and you're like, wow, and you get it immediately. Like I think it's a beautiful story, and I really loved it. And I'm being serious. Like I really love how you presented this story because it almost feels like you're just watching two people. It doesn't really feel like a movie. It feels like you're just really watching two people's stories unfold. It's really good.
So with you specifically. I'll let the love fest continue, but with you specifically, I know you to be you got your hands in so many things, but now this is your movie debut, right?
Yeah.
So you got a piece of this. Is that like a bug? You're like, I want more of that.
Oh my God,
Should
yeah,
be.
absolutely.
He's good.
Yeah?
He's good. He's really good.
Wow. I mean, look, it was my first time.
Did you take it easy on him?
There's nothing to do. Like he's so comfortable. He's used to it. It's a different performance, which is new for people that are getting into narrative, right? So if you got 40,000 fans, like that's his comfort zone. This is something completely different, but I could tell like he's completely able to bring it over to the production set. But it's much different because he's facing off with Nick Nolte in his scene. Like it's like
I'm like looking at him dead in his eyes, and I'm performing my song. I'm staring at this
like
man.
8 Mile.
So when he tells me the scene I'm doing, I'm like, bro, are you serious? He's like, yeah.
That's good. I need you to make Nick Nolte wiggle and dance, man.
It was unreal, man.
So now let's talk about the distribution of this movie and how the world can see it. What's next?
So we're going to be having a theatrical release, which is cool because that's rare these days. Usually it just goes right to streaming, right?
Yeah.
So we got picked up by Vertical Entertainment, which is a big domestic distributor, and we're going to be releasing in 10 cities next Friday, the 28th, for a week. It'll run in theaters, and then we'll do a Q&A at the PFS Bourse here in Philly Friday and Saturday night.
Well, of course, you can find this all on social media at The Golden Voice.
Yeah.
Right?
At Golden Voice.
At Golden Voice.
Yeah.
I always mess up with the does.
It's okay.
I feel like that's what screws me up.
Can I just say something real
Yeah,
quick
let's
and
go.
just pretend this was the beginning of the interview?
What happened?
I loved what you did for the Super Bowl and calling bars from Kansas City and just being an Eagles fan.
Yeah, hi. You're live on the air in Philadelphia with Q102. We just wanted to call and say go Birds.
Go Chiefs.
Go Birds!
And then flipping it and calling Philly bars, pretending to be a Kansas City fan.
Ted from the Ted Show in Kansas City. You're live on the air. I just wanted to call and say go Chiefs.
Oh, fuck off, Ted.
Hey, even while I was down in New Orleans for the game, I'm at the casino, and it's like 2 in the morning, and this guy stops me, and he's like, hey! And I'm like, whoa, what's up? And he goes, I own the KC Hooley House. You called my bar. And then he's like, can we take a picture? I got to send it to my staff. I was like, okay, awesome.
That's
so
incredible,
I appreciate that. But, you know, like videos like that and viral moments like we kind of do over here at Q102, we have the luxury of Philadelphia as an audience
Yeah, man.
to participate with and to consume our stuff. And there's no other city that gets what we do here. That's why movies like this work, because the audience is going to get it. We're going to get it, and it's cool that it was made by one of us. So, Brandon, we appreciate you coming through. Christian,
Can I just say one last thing?
Let's
too?
go.
'Cause I do want to give Brandon his flowers. Like, being friends with Brandon has really taught me how important it is to surround yourself around good people and hardworking people, because I have had the pleasure of watching his story and his journey unfold. He's one of the hardest working people I've ever met in my entire life. He set a goal. He told me that he was going to produce a big film like this almost 10 years ago. And he did what it took. If you heard what he said earlier, and for those listening who are just trying to be inspired and trying to figure it out, these gatekeepers are only going to help people who are helping themselves. They
Yeah.
can't help everyone. And what he was willing to do is put his entire life on the line. People want to work with someone who has everything to lose, not nothing to lose. So if you're trying to play it safe, I can assure you it's not going to work out for you. When I look at Brandon, I see someone who's willing to put it all on the line to do something that he believes in. And this movie is a result of that. It's an absolute honor to be a part of this movie with you. The fact that Nick Nolte is starring in it, bro, is incredible. I just want to say I'm proud of you and congratulations. I'm so excited for everyone to watch this movie. And if you are listening to this and you don't plan on watching it, please watch the movie.
Come on!
He deserves your support. This city deserves to support him and all he's done. And this movie represents our city perfectly. So please support this film.
That's what's up. What a moment. I love to see it. Check it out. The Golden Voice. It is a Philadelphia movie through and through. Brandon, Christian, thanks for coming through Q102.
Buster.
Buster!
Oh, you got a Buster! Buster!